Hey Pete, turn me up some. Yeah, there we go. Yo. Gotta get your brain right if you're trying to make $1 million. If you ain't gonna do it for yourself, then do it for your mama. Only stay surrounded by them people if you know they solid. Elevate your hustle up today to double up your profit. Trying to learn some game, Xavier gonna talk about it. No Deanna, speak that shit that everybody vouching. Ain't no more excuses valid. Get up off the couch and get up in your bag. To your bank account, need an accountant.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to my vlog. This is my first episode I've ever done. I know a lot of people have been asking me to do this for a while. I just never got around to it. But I'm finally doing it, man. I'm on vacation. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. So this is my first vlog, reporting live from Puerto Rico. I said I'm gonna block some time off to make this real quick. I asked some people, did they have any questions from my first video? And people said they wanted me to do a quick Q&A. So I got a quick Q&A of questions I'm gonna go over from my first vlog, y'all. Like I said, it ain't gonna be the wind blowing. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and it might not be too perfect because it's all over the place and I ain't got my microphone, but we still gonna make it work. So we gonna talk about a lot of stuff. I got the questions in my phone. We gonna go over the questions, and yeah, we gonna rock like that. So this was one of the first questions. Somebody asked me about cigars because I love smoking cigars. And I actually got one with me right here, as you can see. See this? It's a Plasencia. I got this out here in Puerto Rico. It's a regular, it's just a regular cigar, no flavor or nothing like that. And so what got me into cigars, man, was I don't even remember where I was, but the first time I smoked the cigar, I was in Florida with my brother, and we had it was a terrible experience, man. It was one of the worst experiences ever because we didn't know at the time. For those of y'all don't know, you're not supposed to inhale a cigar. Like, you're just supposed to puff and blow the smoke out. Puff, blow the smoke out. But we didn't know that. Like I said, this was my first time. So me and my brother, we smoking it. And those who don't know, who may not never smoked the whole cigar, cigars can take anywhere between like 20, 30, 45, depending on the kind of cigar, how long it is. Sometimes they can take close to an hour to smoke. So mind you, we just outside doing our thing, smoking. We finished it. And man, I kid you not, bro, we felt like we had to go to the hospital or something. It was that damn bad. I felt like I was gonna die. So that experience was kind of like, man, maybe cigars not for me. And that happened when I was 18. But when I got older, I started trying them again like last year. Like when I was travel, especially I was going to Vegas a lot. So I would go to Vegas a lot, and they got this dope ass cigar lounge that I love going to. And I would travel, and I just started smoking them again, man. And I came to love it. It's like one of those things where, like, you might not you know how they say things got an acquired taste? I think cigar is very similar to that. It's one of those things, once you do it enough, you'll start to like it and enjoy it. And that's been the case with me. I actually love it now, man. But I'm not one of those people that smoke it every day. I smoke cigars probably once a month, 2 times a month at the most. Because what most people probably don't know is cigars are strictly all tobacco. There's no like chemicals and stuff like that, like with cigarettes and stuff. So it's not as bad, it's not as unhealthy as cigarettes, because it's like I said, it's just all strictly tobacco that's wrapped up. So although it's not like the most healthiest thing, it's also not the most unhealthiest thing if you do it in moderation. So like I actually love it. And what a lot of people don't know is, like, I'm gonna get y'all some game on cigars real quick before I get into these other questions. Like, first of all, as you know, you're supposed to cut them, and they got different cuts. They got the V cut, they got the regular cut, they got the cut where you just punch the hole right there in the middle. And my favorite is the V cut. It's a very smooth smoke. But unluckily for me, I ain't bring my cutter with me, so I had to go downstairs to get somebody, and I got the regular basic cut. So this is how and I'm gonna show y'all how you light a cigar. So basically, like, it's preferably you don't use like a regular lighter because the fluids is not good for a good smoke with a cigar. It's preferable that you get like an actual torch so you can torch the cigar so it'll be a better smoke. So this is what I got right here, and I'm gonna show y'all how to light it, man. For those who don't know, who might be interested in cigars, I'm gonna show y'all how to light it. So unlike a cigarette, or if you're smoking weed or anything like that, you don't directly put the flame on a cigar and you know what I'm saying, you torch it. It's like a torch more than like a fire and set it on fire, because that's how you get. With cigars, is all about the smoke. And you want the highest quality of smoke possible, and your flame and the way you torch it is a big part of that. So what you would do, if y'all can see, you get to, so you just torch it like that. If y'all can see that, it ain't dark, so y'all can't see it. But you would just torch it like that. You see it? You go in circles, torch it. Puff to see if it's good. Torch some more. See how it's going all the way around, and you want it to be even. There's a lot of wind blowing out here, but you want to get a good torch. You don't want it uneven and stuff like that. There you go. There you go, right there. All right, there you go. That's a good smoke. Hold on, let me get some more. All right, there we go, right there. As y'all can see, it's a nice good torch on it. There's a lot of wind. Hopefully we can keep this thing lit, man. It's a lot of wind blowing out here today. Before we get started, man, I forgot to say this, man. Let me give y'all a background check on me, let me give y'all some background on me, just for the people that's. This video might be their first time seeing me, first time being aware of me. They may never heard of me before. They don't know what I'm about. They don't know my history or none of that. Let me give y'all some background on myself. So I was born and raised in Chicago. All my life, born and raised in Chicago. And then I joined the military. I joined the Air Force. And like going on 20 years old, I joined the Air Force. And when I went to the Air Force, I was stationed in California. And I was there for like, I was in the Air Force for 5.5 years. I got retired out. I messed up my back overseas and I got retired out. And then I already knew I was getting out on my own anyway. So I eventually got out. Well, before I got out, let's go back. Before I got out, I got into real estate. I started buying real estate. I started buying stocks. I was investing into the stock market heavily, buying real estate and stuff like that. So I already knew, like, okay, I want to get out and do my own thing. So I got out. And I created my podcast, and my podcast is what really kind of like got me out there, because for those who don't know, it's a consistent top 50 business podcast in the entire country. So it's very well known. So I started my podcast and I kept doing business stuff and growing my brand and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So that's what some background on me and how I started and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get right into the first question. So the first question says, when do I know it's time to leave my job? And this is a conversation, or this is a question that people always ask. I talk about this all the time because I went through it myself. I had a similar experience. Like I said, I was in the military and I knew I didn't want to get in. And I used to have a lot of thoughts on, like, man, if I get out, what would happen? When do I know it's my time to get out and stuff like that? So the best advice that I can give to anybody, straightforward, in my opinion, because this is what I did, this is what I went through, the best advice I can give you is to save your money before you leave. Save your money. Like, as simple as that. Like, you'll hear a lot of stories of people that'll say, I left my job with no money. In 2 months I don't want to say a lot of stories, but sometimes you might hear a real story of somebody, I left my job, 2 months later I became a millionaire. And I'm here to tell you, that happens, but it's an anomaly. Like, you can't expect that to happen to you. You have to be realistic. When you're dealing with real practical situations, you have to be strategic and not live in a imaginary, you know what I'm saying, and not be in reality. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to leave your job, please make sure you save your money so you can comfortably leave. Because there's nothing worse than leaving a job and not having no money, not knowing when is the next paycheck coming in. Nobody wants to experience that. So, and my advice, I always tell people this. I believe you should have at least, like, listen to this, at least 6 months of savings. At least, minimum. That's the minimum. 6 months of savings. So if your bills, all right, if you have $1,000 in bills every month, you need to have at least $6,000 saved before you even think about leaving your job. Don't leave your job if you ain't got that money saved. Realistically, if you got $1,000 in monthly expenses, I would want you to have $12,000 saved a year of expenses. But I know for a lot of people that's hard to do. So I would say at least 6 months. Aim for that. And if you can't, and the thing is, and this sounds crazy, but it's probably best for you to say, if your job is not detrimental to your health, physically or mentally, just thug it out, man. Just stay there, grind it out, save that money, because you just don't want to leave just because you dislike a job. You don't want to do that, man. I know a lot of people. Before I got in the military, I used to do that a lot, stupidly. Like if I didn't like a job, I would just leave. I would just quit, and then I'm like, damn, I need some more money. Now I'm rushing to find another job and stuff like that. So please, man, save your money. Like that's the best. That's like I said, I have this conversation all the time. And that's honestly the best advice I can give anybody. Like, just save your money. Like that's going to be your cushion. That's going to save you. Like coming up, they always tell you the saying, save your money for a rainy day. And that's one of the realest sayings of all time, man. You don't really realize until you're an adult. Like that money is a cushion. It gives you time. It buys you time. So if you don't have a job and you have X amount of money saved, you know, okay, I got this much time left. That's why you need to save your money before leaving your gig. So yeah, I'll leave it at that on that one. So somebody else said, what was the steps you took into building your podcast? This is another good question. And also when I'm creating and getting ready to drop my podcasting course, where I go over all of this. Like I talk about how I make 4 to 5 figures every month from owning my podcast. So I'll just go over some of this stuff real quickly. I'm not gonna go over everything just because, like I said, man, I got a course that's I'm detailing everything. So I would tell you this: if the best way to build a podcast, first of all, you have to have a brand. Like there's no way you have to be building a brand. There's no way you're gonna have a high quality, a high listened to podcast if you don't have no brand. It's like virtually impossible. If nobody knows you, why would they listen to your show? So what I'm saying is basically you gotta take the steps to leverage these platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, whatever you like using, and build it up. You have to have something to give to the people, whether it's gonna be I always say it's three things to building a quality brand, a quality show, a quality anything. It's 3 things that you have to do at least one of them. You have to either be entertaining, you have to be either inspirational, or you have to be informal. 3 of those things, one of those things you have to do. If you are all 3, if you all 3, you cold. You definitely gonna blow. But you have to be at least one. What a lot of people don't realize is they none of those things. They just create a show. They're not giving people any game. They don't have any personality where it's entertaining or funny to people, and it's not inspirational to people. So it's like, okay, why would people listen to this? You know what I'm saying? So 3, you have to be one of those things. Like I said, you either have to be entertaining, you either have to be inspirational, or you have to be giving people information. It has to be one of those things. And ideally, like I said before, you're all 3. So that's how, I'll tell you, that's how I built my platform. My platform strictly came through me giving people information through my experiences and other people's experiences that came on my show, and me also giving inspiration from people seeing where I started from, where I came from, having no money, none of that, and now I'm almost a millionaire now. So, and I'm not saying that to brag or boast in anything, just because a couple years ago I was broke, man. I was broke. So my stuff, like I said, my platform was strictly me seeing and get out the mud, seeing my story and all that. So yeah, I'll answer that quickly and I'll move on to the next one. So somebody else said, what are the steps to get out of the military, and what are the steps that you took to get out? And this kind of goes back to that first question I asked when I said when to leave your job. So the military, like I said, man, before I got out, I was just saving my money and investing my money because I knew that would give me the cushion. I knew that I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. As long as I was saving my money, that would give me time to figure it out. And that's what a lot of people, that's why money is so important. Like I said before, it gives you a time cushion. You don't know, like, you don't need to know exactly what you want to do in life if you have money, because money buys you time to figure it out. So I knew that when I was going through stuff to invest and going on deployment so I could get my money up. So those were just simply the steps I took, man. Like in the military, they have things like taps that can help you. What's the word? That can help you separate. They have taps that can help you. They have different programs and stuff like that. But the main thing, really, like I said, is me saving my money and putting myself in a position where it's like, because just being real, this is how it goes for a lot of people in the military, right? They'll say, like, they'll know, okay, I got 3 years left on my enlistment, right? I got 3 years left on my enlistment, but I'm going to bullshit these 2, then the last year, I'm going to get my stuff together. And time go by so fast. It go by so fast. So the time flies by, they look up, they got a year left, they don't have any money saved, they're like, damn, I want to get out. I hate this. But now they have to re-enlist. You know why? Because they don't have any money. Like they would be stupid not to re-enlist because they getting paid on the 1st and 15th every month consistently. You can pretty much guarantee you're going to get paid. So my point is, saving your money. That's what's going to save you and help you get out your job if you truly want to get out your job. So that's the steps I took for me to get out the military. I'm gonna move on to the next question. So somebody said, I don't even know how to word this correctly. They said basically what they asked is, what are the steps? How can they learn to invest in the stock market? And this question right here, man, it's like I try to make it not sound so simple, but I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, man. It is, man. They have so many platforms out here where you got TD Ameritrade, whether you got E-Trade, whether you got Stash, whether you got Robinhood, whether you got M1. There's so many platforms out here that you could use and you can just create an account with. And when you create an account, it's on you to go from there. You'll just research companies that you're interested in. And like what I tell people all the time, I'm say starting off, just think of the things that you use on a consistent basis. Are you going shopping on Amazon every day? Are you watching Netflix all day? Are you going to Target every day? You know what I'm saying? Do you drive a Tesla? Like, because Tesla is a company that I have a lot of stock in. Like, just think of the things you're doing in your daily life, and then think like, oh, look them up to see if they are publicly traded companies. And you can buy shares of them. You can buy portions of it. You can buy portions of shares. Like, it's very simple to invest in the stock market. Now having strategies to win and actually make money on a big, consistent level, that can be more complex. But actually just getting money and investing in the stock market, that is extremely easy. That's not difficult at all. That's very, very easy. So just like I said, just use some of those platforms I mentioned. Create an account and go from there. Just start investing and just start small. It's okay to start small. My first investment I made in the stock market, this was in 2017 when I came home from my deployment. It was in Starbucks, and it was like $30 a share. I didn't know how this worked, and I just bought like one share because I was so confused. I didn't know how it worked, and I'm like, okay. So I bought the share, and then, you know what I'm saying, moved a little bit, might have went down a little bit, might have went back up a little bit, I don't really remember. But it was just me seeing how the process worked and how it worked, where I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I can be comfortable with this. Then that gave me confidence to put bigger amounts of money in, do more research, look at some more companies and stuff like that. So yeah, man, just start there. Just the first step I would say is make an account with a brokerage and go from there. And then go on YouTube. If you don't have the funds to pay for somebody to teach you, use YouTube, man. There's so much information on YouTube where you can type in how to invest in the stock market, what company should I invest in. Don't use YouTube. Use websites like Investopedia. Use Yahoo Finance. I used to go on there and read a lot of stuff when I wasn't too financially literate. So use those platforms and they'll give you a lot of information. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. And, somebody asked about starting a podcast, and I already answered that one. Somebody said, what's the most amount of money you've made in stocks in a day? Cool. So the most amount of money I've made in one day from stocks was $15,000, and this was in 2020. This was in, excuse me, I'm away. This was in 2020. So, like I said, I own a lot of Tesla stock, and it was a time where it went crazy. it wasn't nothing special. Like it's nothing like when I describe this, it's nothing magical because I'm not doing any labor. Like I'm just at the time I was actually I might have been in Vegas. I was in Vegas just hanging out. Looked at my account and I made $15,000 that day. And it wasn't like I said, it's no like super crazy story because it's no hard labor. It's the money comes from ownership. It comes from owning something. So it's not like I'm doing anything special. So yeah. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. Somebody said, did I like the military? And I'll be honest with you. I liked it, but I didn't like it, if that makes sense. Like I liked it because it taught me a lot of things. It taught me about, it pretty much essentially taught me how to be a grown-up. You know what I'm saying? Like being out on the world on my own, not having family with me, it got me out of my comfort zone. And it also taught me how to maneuver throughout different environments. It taught me that. And it also taught me the importance of discipline. It taught me the importance of OPSEC, operational security, not being too public and keeping some things private. It taught me the importance of that, and it taught me. And obviously, I met my girl. It taught me, man. I could go on and on about this. It taught me a lot of stuff, but the actual work and the stuff like that, I didn't enjoy it. But I knew, like I said earlier, I knew this is not something I wanted to do long term. So I knew I had to go through that so I could save my money and get out that situation. So that's the best way to answer that. So I'll go to the next question. Someone said, opinion of wholesaling. They talk about wholesaling real estate. They said, what is your opinion of wholesaling as a way to get into real estate? So I think wholesaling is a great way to get into real estate, especially if you're someone that doesn't have any money, because wholesaling necessarily in a lot of situations they don't take a lot of money. So as long as you have the hustle, the drive, the right attitude, you can get out here and make money without having a lot of money. So I think wholesaling is a great way, as long as you're using those wholesaling checks to actually invest, where you can get so you can get those passive income. Because as we know, wholesaling not passive. You're gonna have to get up every single day, crazy hours to get that check, and if you blowing it, you pretty much going on a hamster wheel. So if you are wholesaling, make sure you're getting those checks and you're using it to invest, and so you can get passive income. And I'm gonna move on to another question. Someone asked, how old were you when you got your first $100,000? So when I got my first 100K, I was 25 years old, and it was honestly, and I'll be honest with y'all, it was honestly one of the happiest moments in my life. But with it being one of the happiest moments, it kind of messed me up because I was too happy and such in a celebratory mode where I stopped grinding for a second because I was so happy. Like I grew up a huge Jay-Z fan. I'm a huge Hov fan, and anybody that listens to Jay-Z, y'all know one of his songs. He say, I came into the game with 100 grand strong, 9 to be exact. But when I heard that as a kid, ever since a kid, when I heard that, I used to be like, man, he came into the game with $100,000. And I used to calculate in my head, like, okay, when did Jay-Z drop his first album? He was 26 years old. So in my head, it was always like, man, as a kid growing up, I always had this thought, damn, I want to get my first 100K by 26 too. And I actually did it. But when I did it, I was such like in a celebratory mode. I actually blew like through 20,000 within like that first month, 2 months, just because I was so like happy and geeked up there and saying I did it, thinking like, oh, I'm up, I got bread, not knowing that 100K ain't nothing. You can blow through 100,000 in a week if you doing crazy enough stuff and you're really trying to enjoy your stuff. It ain't nothing to blow through. And it took me that instance to realize and understand that. And when that happened, it was like, okay, I know now. So yeah, but at 25, I was 25. And what other questions I got for me? I'm gonna do a couple more, then I'm gonna stop. Like I said, because I'm in Puerto Rico, I'm on vacation. I don't want to spend all my time doing this. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, then I'm gonna chill out. He said, regarding real estate, do you have a property manager to manage your properties? And the answer to that is yes. I have a property manager to handle all my properties. I don't handle any of my properties, none of them, because first of all, I don't live in this. I don't live near none of my properties. All my properties are in the Midwest, and I don't live in the Midwest. So I don't directly deal with none of my properties. I pay property managers to do it, and property managers they typically charge anywhere between 5 to 10%. You can count on them to charge that much. So let's say if you're making $1,000 a month from one property, you can pretty much bet that the property manager is going to charge you anywhere between $50 to $100 every month. And what the property manager do, they pretty much handle everything with the property. Like they'll get payments. If there's an issue going on in the house, they'll let you know, and they'll just get contractors on site to fix it. All you have to do is pay for it. If there's no tenants in your property, they'll go through the tenant process of finding you tenant and getting a tenant in your property. So they're pretty much the CEO of your property. And you're just a CEO. You just sign off on things. Like if you want somebody in your house, you want this done, something's going on, all you do is they reach out to you. You say yes or no. Typically, if you're a good landlord, you'll say yes and you'll get things done immediately. So I prefer to do it that way. That's just me, because that's just less time taken. That's just less time I have to do. That's just more time for me to do the things that I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't hire property managers, it would basically be a pain in the ass for me to do that all the way from where I live in Texas to handle this in the Midwest. So in my opinion, having a property manager is the best route to go. In just my opinion, because it just saves you so much time and headache, and it frees up a lot of time that you can be using. I prefer, I'll give y'all like little insight, like per month, this is no exaggeration or anything, I'll probably take like up to 10 to 15 minutes on a monthly basis to deal with my properties. I only take time to deal with something unless there's a problem. A couple of months back, we had to get a new toilet. So obviously we have to make sure that got done. But other than that, we don't really have to talk to our people much. It's usually a quick process. And I have great property managers. Shout out to one of my property managers, and a great friend of mine, Justin and Jackie. They have above ground property management. They're located in the Detroit area. So if you're in the Detroit area and you need a property manager, please reach out to them. They gonna get you right, man. We've been working with them for like over a year now, and we ain't never had any problems with them. So I'm gonna go one more question, and then I'm gonna stop. Someone said they're young, getting ready to graduate high school. Do I think they should join the military? See, that's right there. To be honest, that's really a personal decision. Do I think the military is a great option for you? Yes, but it all depends on your background, your goals. Like it's a lot of variables that too that I really just couldn't give you a yes or no on that, because I don't know you personally and I don't know your situation. But I would say, if you have a plan, and you know, let's say even if you don't have a plan, you just want to figure things out. I'll just say this: the military is a great option. It's a great option, man. Like I don't regret joining it at all, man. If I was a broke 18-year-old, I would join immediately. Like I wish I joined directly out of high school, as opposed to me joining almost at 20 years old. So I'll just say it like that: like if you have a plan and you know what you want to do, and you don't mind being away from your family, your friends, traveling, going to new locations and stuff like that, and you're not scared to go to boot camp and stuff like that. Boot camp isn't that bad. I would say join, man. But like I said, it's a personal decision. It's a real personal decision, because it's a life-changing thing. Like you'll never be the same again. Not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying like that same person that you were, because you're going to experience so much. So if you're willing to do all that and you want to go through that, I would say join. So yeah. So wrapping up, man. Like those just a couple of questions. I might do another one. But the next vlogs, they're going to be more like lifestyle. I might implement some lifestyle stuff in this vlog, as me just moving around, doing stuff like that. And yeah, man, I'm going to keep this coming for y'all. I'm going to try to be consistent as possible, man. And whatever questions y'all got, make sure y'all put them in the comments for the next video, or make sure y'all follow me. Y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Xavier C. Miller. And make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all like the channel, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, man, feel free to give me some feedback, man. Whatever y'all think, whatever y'all want me to do in future videos, because I'm going to just keep showing y'all around, man. I'm planning on showing y'all some fly stuff and just giving y'all a game on a lot of stuff from my experiences and stuff like that, man. So I just want to say I really appreciate y'all watching this video for me, reporting live from Puerto Rico. Let me show y'all around so y'all can see. Reporting live from Puerto Rico. And yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. And I really appreciate y'all, man. And then wrapping up, like I said, y'all can find me, follow me, do all that good stuff. Like I said, this video is not gonna be perfect yet. This is my first video. I'm out. Like I said, I'm out in Puerto Rico on a whim. I'm just making this, so. But I promise y'all it's gonna get better, man. And that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching this video. Make sure y'all subscribe and all that. Peace.